Welcome to another fantastic Grave Geeks. It's Thursday night, and we're just waiting for him to roll in. There's one and two.
Ha! First. I beat ya.
That's too funny. Like, yes!
Down with the quickness tonight.
And here's my favorite part. The fact that you're like, oh, I was first. Yet I used to have to beg you to come up.
I know. Still haven't shown my face yet, though. Not ready for that.
Not ready for that. That's okay. That's okay. We'll get you there. Like, I mean, Megan's like 50-50 now.
Yep. It's getting a little crazy.
Right?
All right, so this snow shit can stop at any point.
I invited you, Mac.
Yeah, I'm done with this.
Invited.
I can concur, Megan.
I'm over it. I've decided. Officially over it.
We're supposed to get hit again.
Twice. There's a storm that's going to hit us on Sunday, and then there's another storm next week.
No me gusta.
No. Ours is coming Saturday, and then I didn't know about the Sunday. So you can take that and you can do whatever the heck you want with it.
I think that it can just go away. Yeah, Kathy, I agree. Totally over the cold weather. Yeah, Mac, I don't want to invite you. I don't know why you can't. It's not letting you accept. Yo, welcome in. Sorry. Yo, join. I was like, cool. Yeah, Jolly. We have I think, aren't we up to 270 inches of snow? So.
My parents' house was 287.
Yeah, I'm probably
Goodness.
260s.
You know, I will take our 2 foot of snow and I'll just keep it here.
Right. So we have homework. That's cool.
I did just get mine done.
So I went far back. Mac, you're invited. I'll cancel it and invite again.
No uppies for you, I guess.
Joe and Laura in the house. I got everything done and they helped me with a couple, so I have to retype it. There was 3 that I wasn't sure on. We figured it out last night, so. I don't care, Jolly. I understand that Tasha and I live where it snows. Got that. Not this much.
Not 280 something.
Well, it's just like the winters we used to have.
I didn't
Just
choose
saying.
I didn't choose this. Got chosen for me when I was a teenager. Anywho, so I didn't do
not letting Mac up.
I don't know.
Does he have enough followers?
It says you're invited.
Yeah.
I just canceled it and re-invited. We'll try again. There we go.
There he is.
I tried.
I know,
Turn
but
up the map.
I clicked on it at the same time and it canceled each other out or something. I don't know.
So I went far back. So I didn't do a specific person. I did, and there's actually books about it. So if you ever want to read it, it's really interesting. So it's Becoming German, the 1709 Palatine migration of to New York. You want to hear an immigration story for a group of people? This is insane. Absolutely crazy. So They called it the Palatine German immigration of 1709 to New York.
Is it by Philip Otterness? The author.
The author.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Okay, I just found it, so I'm going to probably try to order it.
Yes, it's extremely interesting. So, what happened is in Germany, in the Palatine region, there was an overpopulation. There was not enough land, so you had a family, plot of land, acres or whatever, and it was being split between the sons because there wasn't enough. So it's split and then split again and then split again. And it was to the point where there wasn't enough space. So there was a flyer that started going around saying the new world is looking for people. You'll get land, you'll get opportunity. So everybody's like, oh, this sounds awesome, right? Free. Like, all we got to do is just go on a boat. We're good. So they started collecting, and then they went to England because the rumor and the paper said that England would send you over and give you all of this stuff for free.
For free!
And so in 1708, after years of hardship, about 13,000 Palatines were encouraged by the British government to immigrate to England with promises of land, financial support, and a brighter future. And they were all like, great, we got labor. This is awesome. And they thought it was an opportunity to bolster the economy in New York. Well, the problem is that they had to pay to get them over there, right? So they were camped out outside of London in tents for a year. Intense. So Queen Anne finally
That's intense.
decided.
Oh, thank you, somebody, whoever said that. I was
What?
waiting.
What?
Say it again.
You said that they were You said they were camping in tents, and my internal monologue came out loud and said, "Oh man, that's intense."
That's intense.
No, I got
I'm
you.
sorry.
No, you're good. I was just like, what did I miss? So Queen Anne finally relented, and I believe it was 3 boats sent them over to New York with the promise. So they had to sign an indenture, and they were going to work for the British government, and they were going to work with the trees and take the tar and process the tar so that they could use it for the British Navy, right? So they get over there, and they thought they had the land secured. It was not. Ended up in intense tents on Governor's Island for a year. So this is like almost like 2.5 years where they don't have a home. And as cold weather, winter, Governor's Island, they were stuck there. So they finally figured out the land. They got them settled kind of so they got a certain amount of acreage, and they could have their own little family farm, and then work on the tar for the Navy. So they started doing that to find out that it was the wrong kind of trees for the wrong kind of tar.
Ooh.
So at this point, they kind of thumbed their nose at the British and said, you guys suck. We're sick of this. And they went up, and then they all kind of settled into the Palatine Bridge area in Ulster County. And they played a pivotal role during the Revolutionary War because almost all of the families sent men to fight, and to include General Herkimer at the Battle of Oriskany. He was a grandson of a Palatine German that came. And the scouts that went from the Battle of Oriskany in Oriskany to Fort Stanwix to ask for help, all 3 of them were grandsons or great-grandsons of German Palatine from those 3 boats. Over and over again, you'll see that, like, Schuyler or Schuler, sometimes depends on where you live, how you pronounce it.
Yep.
There are a ton of them that came on those 3 boats that populated the region. They had massive consequences going forward and doing a lot of things. The clocks, the Foltz. So if you're from New York, there's the Foltz home, which was a one of the first kind of residential homes for those that didn't have anything. They were disabled. They were elderly. It was like one of the first nursing homes that was ever put together, and the Foltz were the ones that started that. And their original name was Foltz, Foltz, or Volts, and their guy was Mellon Kurt Volts, who was on one of the boats.
That's crazy.
What? So it's quite interesting. And like 2 of my relations were, I think that they are, I can't remember if they're on the, what I thought was my dad's side, was part of the patents, and they got land for fighting in the Revolutionary War. Okay.
That's really cool.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I've been sitting here this whole time thinking my camera was on.
That's okay.
I really liked that story, Allie. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's
it's a
cutting
nice
my head off.
I mean, I had it like all printed out and there's stuff, but I've read the story, and there's been so many of my mom's relations and who I thought were my dad's relations, part of that I've just kind of become part of that story. And it's really important if you do go down to that area or the Montgomery County, they have a very large, not museum, what's the word? Montgomery County. There's it's a massive building where they have all
I know.
It's not a library, it's
the respiratory. No, not. Why am I saying respiratory? That's not what I mean.
No.
Repository?
Yeah, repository is what I meant, not respiratory.
It's more like almost, I don't know.
Archival annex?
Yeah, kind of. It's massive. And
they also
record
that home that you were talking about, they have a pretty decent sized cemetery that's it's called the Poorhouse Cemetery. Mm-hmm. Every stone on there is just numbered. Mm-hmm. Somebody went through at one point and only put the names in. They didn't take any pictures or anything and find a grave, and I ended up finding a list that put the names to the numbers.
That's awesome.
So I started going through and putting the numbers in there.
Yeah, it was one of the first, I mean, not the first, but it was very early on, and they were part of the 3 boats that came over.
I just saw Max comment. It's not a suppository either.
Yeah. I just...
I couldn't. I'm sorry. It's been a week.
So that was my big, broad story that covered a lot of people. But it's part of my heritage, so...
You should write a post about it.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. When Amanda goes, I have her picture saved.
Amanda, you ready?
Yeah, but can somebody read it too? Because I can't read it at the same time as being on here.
Yeah. 1 second.
Yeah, I wrote whatever in the thing, so.
Yep, I got you. It didn't change the picture though. Hold on.
I call excuses.
I am gonna slap you.
See the pretty flowers? Have you got me?
Oh.
Ooh, pretty.
Okay. Hold
Oh, I gotta turn it so I can show my flowers in the back.
Hold on. Okay. So let me just pull up the email real quick.
So I'll just explain who it is first. So that is my biological grandfather, but he raised me as his daughter. So that's my dad. He died in 2023. But I found some pretty interesting information about him, other than being in the military that I didn't know about. Man of mystery.
When you're ready for me, just let me know.
You can go.
Okay. So she wrote, the ancestor I chose was my biological grandfather who raised me as his daughter. Jim was a professional musician and an accomplished bass player. Wow, I'm doing great tonight. Accomplished bass player. He played with various jazz bands, including the Tommy Dorsey Band. He joined with local piano players and worked weeknights and holidays for 9 years at the Blue Fox nightclub in Cleveland. Jim also accompanied some of the best jazz musicians of the time. He had stories with Sammy Davis Jr. and had pictures on the wall with him and other musicians at the Cedar Point Ballroom. He was a lifelong member of the American Federation of Musicians, including local chapter 24 in Cleveland and other music organizations. Jim played music from the 50s until 2014 in his home in Massachusetts. In his home in Massachusetts, he had a beautiful piano, a few guitars, and a beloved stand-up bass. I really like that picture of him.
I couldn't believe it when I found that. I was like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
That's cool. It looks like a still shot from like a movie.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's cute. Like, I have some pictures of him when he was young, and it's like, he was a dapper kid. Very dapper.
Dapper was the word I was thinking.
Yeah. Like, he had like a nice hair, and then he lost it all, so he was bald, but.
I'm waiting for like Sammy Davis Jr. to like slide across, or like Frank Sinatra.
I wish I had some. I mean, he had records and like thousands of records, and it was just like, oh my God, they all got ruined. But it is what it is.
Yeah. Very cool.
So, what, like, growing up, did you grow up around a lot of his music? Like, what was that like?
Apparently he had like music that he made, but I didn't know about it. I definitely knew he was a musician because I grew up like with a lot of music in my life, and like he taught me a little bit piano and stuff like that, but I didn't know about the records that he recorded until after his death. And then my aunt was like, where's his records? I said, I don't know. I didn't know about them.
You're like, he has records?
Yeah, right? But it's like, she was never in his life anyway, so I'm like, you're not going to get them even if I had them. Like,
Right.
Right.
Now, did he like push you into doing a lot of music, or just had it around?
Did attend music class and chorus as a kid, and I did dance, but I have no rhythm. I can remember lyrics and beats and everything like that, but I have no where I'm tone deaf, I guess. I don't know. I like to say I'm tone deaf.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am too, don't worry. Allie knows I can't carry a tune.
I can with music. If there's no music playing, I'm like all over the place. Then I'm like, ew. That's what I sound like?
Oh, the only reason I can with music is because I turn it up loud enough where I can't hear myself.
Exactly.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. That's awesome. Who's next? Megan. Is Megan ready?
Megan. I'm ready.
All right. Do you have pictures, or you want to stay
I
right
do have a picture.
Okay.
Just a singular one. I'm ready.
Okay.
One moment.
Moment.
She said moment.
Later.
Oh, wow. She's beautiful.
Ooh. Okay, so my story isn't specifically my family story. I couldn't think of one. We're boring farmers, so we didn't really have anything going on. However, my other half, Christopher, one of the first times I met his dad, he had mentioned, well, it was a family story that we had Titanic survivors. And so that is who I am here to talk about. This is Ruth Becker. Her and her mother and 3 siblings were all survivors of the Titanic mishap. The mother and father were Lutheran missionaries in India, and the youngest of the 4 kids, Richard, got sick. And on doctors' advice, they made the trip back to Benton Harbor, Michigan, which is right down over here.
Okay.
They made their way via Southampton. They were booked passage on the Titanic. They held ticket number 230136. At that time, it cost 39 pounds.
You know what class it was?
Second.
Middle class.
When the accident happened, Ruth and her mother, Nellie was her mother's name, and her younger sister, I believe, and 2 brothers made their way up to the lifeboats. It was then when Ruth got separated from her mother and the rest of her siblings, because her mom told her to go back and get blankets from the cabin. The family was in lifeboat 11, and it was lowered away without Ruth. And her mom hollered up to her, "Get in a different boat, Ruth, get in a different boat." She was able to get in boat number 13 and survived the sinking. It wasn't for a long time that she didn't talk about it at all up until her later years. She
completely
struggled with it for a really long time. However, she died in 1990, and her ashes were scattered at the sinking site.
Wow.
So this is Ruth Becker. Blanchard was her married name.
Was her father on the boat too and he didn't make it?
Nope. Alan, her father actually stayed behind in India and was following the family at a later time. He sent the family ahead of time because Richard was so poorly that they needed to get him back to the
That was
U.S.
probably the luckiest thing he did.
Yeah.
What about her?
He would have died. They all made it.
Okay.
They all made it in lifeboat 11 with their mother, and Ruth was able to make it in boat 13. She's the one who had all the blankets, so she was able to pass out blankets to the rest of her boatmates and help keep them warm until the Carpathia came and picked him up.
Did the little guy make it and get treatment when he got home?
As far as I know, Richard was able to recover. I don't believe the family returned to India afterwards.
I wouldn't want to get on a boat after that.
Yeah, she didn't for a very long time. I think it was around maybe her 80-something birthday, I believe, she went on a cruise for the very first time. Other than that, she was...
At that point, she's like...
Nope.
Yeah, she's like...
Was
like, all right, take me.
Here's Rose with the necklace. Oops.
Mm-hmm.
Did the family get all picked up, like even the 2 different boats by the Carpathia?
I believe they were both picked up by the Carpathia, yes.
Okay.
As far as I know, it's one of the few that came to the...
Yeah.
They were the closest.
Right.
They were the... Well, there was another boat that was close. I think that's a contention point between some historians.
Yeah.
Who was actually closer. I think it was maybe the California.
Carpathia.
Don't quote me on that one.
Carpathia blew out all their engines to get to...
Yeah.
They made it happen.
They were like, bet, let's go.
They did a 4-hour trip under 2.5 hours.
They pushed it with everything they had.
Yep.
Can you imagine pulling that many people out of the water?
Mm-mm.
No.
Well, besides the fact that, 2,200 people were on Titanic and less than 1,000 were saved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
700, I believe.
That's crazy.
Yep, they flew a little too close to the sun on that one. They were a little too Icarus.
Was this picture prior to the sinking or after?
I am not quite sure when this was taken. If you'll give me a moment.
Okay.
Yeah, Mac was right. It was 706.
Wow. Good job, Mac. I didn't go to work on the right day because I thought I had a dentist appointment with the kid. So good on you. Like, yeah, the Titanic 700. Like, dang.
Yeah, she sent me a message. She's like, "So my dentist appointment is actually tomorrow."
I'm lucky I have an amazing boss. Otherwise, I could have gotten in major trouble for a no-call, no-show because I actually took the correct day off. It was Wednesday. I had my leave slip in for Wednesday. I had my dentist appointment and the minion's dentist appointment for Wednesday. And I told everybody Monday, I'll see you Wednesday. I have my dentist appointment tomorrow. And I didn't show up. I didn't call. And then brought the minion to the appointment in the afternoon. And they're like, no, it's tomorrow.
Oh, no.
So I got to work on Wednesday, and my boss is like, why are you here? You have leave in. I'm like, so funny story.
There's no date on that picture. However, she was born in 1899. 1899 to 9 would have been 10.
So I'm guessing that was after. She looks about, what, 17, 18 there?
Yeah, and it looks like her eyes have seen some shit.
Yeah, I was going to say. I've seen those haunted eyes before.
And her mother, she was reunited with her mother and her siblings on the Carpathia.
That's awesome.
So, that is Ruth Becker Blanchard.
Are any of
She is distantly related to him.
Are any of her siblings or her mom buried here in Michigan?
I believe they are all buried down in the Dowagiac area, which is slightly in from Benton Harbor.
Benton Harbor, yeah. Okay.
My other half grew up in the St. Joe, Benton Harbor area. It's called Benton Harlem now, so if that tells you anything.
That picture definitely was right around the time of the Titanic because those bows.
Look at the bow.
And the collar. So if it wasn't before, it was definitely shortly after.
She's a pretty girl.
Yes, she is.
Well, thank you for letting me share her story with you.
Of course.
Absolutely.
B.
So I have two stories, but I will share this one first. So this is my third great-grandfather, Corporal William Marlick Flynn. He was in the Civil War. He was in the 27th Indiana Volunteer Infantry Regiment. He was promoted from private, and then he was wounded at Gettysburg in the charge. A pew shot fractured his ribs and right lung, and then he just stuck a handkerchief right through the entry wounds. And just kept on fighting. He then
we'll take care of that later.
He was sent to the General Hospital in York, Pennsylvania, and then he was transferred to the Newton University United States Army General Hospital and Patterson Park United States Army Hospital in Baltimore, Maryland. He returned to the regiment in December 12th of 1863. Then he was slightly wounded in Atlanta in 7/30 of 1864. His breastwork and a shell burst fragment hit him in the head. And he lived until he was 71 in Indiana.
Jeez. Talk about people that have seen some shit.
And he died in 1911.
Just stuffed a handkerchief in it.
If he lived in Indiana, I bet he was one cool dude.
Just like, you know.
Right.
I mean, that's actually partially about the tampon.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I found out
Super
I
glue
found
too.
out too. My other half's third great grandfather was in the same battle on the same side, and did the exact same thing. He stuck a handkerchief in his wound and kept on fighting.
Brian, I would
Oh, all
research
right.
where the tampon was invented because if it was in Indiana, it could
Hold
be
that
him.
thought.
Oh, got it. Okay.
It's like, hey, that's a good idea for people who bleed.
Okay, so the next one is about a fifth great grand aunt of mine. I didn't actually find her. Krista did. She helped me find her because she was going to help me find a grandfather buried in Albany. So she was looking at the siblings and came across Mary Mott. So here's her thing. She is actually in a very fascinating predicament. So there's several articles written about her with the title "Mystery in Iron Coffin."
Oh,
Here is one article: Diggers at Battle Creek unearth queer receptacle of an unknown woman. Diggers, while leveling ground for a park at Battle Creek, Michigan, the other day, found several feet underground a most peculiar iron coffin. It is shaped to fit the body of a woman as perfectly as if hot iron had been poured around her form. The head is enclosed in a helmet. On the bosom is a silver plate on which it inscribed Mary Mott. The casket eventually has been in the ground for many years. People who have lived in Battle Creek for half a century say they have never heard of Mary Mott nor such a coffin. And then there's a
that's
bigger
cool.
article. Gotta pull this up.
I think Megan has a question for you. She
Go
was
ahead.
raising her hand.
Go ahead.
Where the hell in Battle Creek is this? I live 30 minutes from Battle Creek, and I am there all the time. Where in Battle Creek is this?
She
She needs
she
to
is
know now.
buried. She's buried in Oak Hill.
Of course she is.
So her
Of
stone don't.
freaking course she is.
So her stone doesn't even have her name on it. It just says our mother, and she was moved from a Quaker cemetery. So that was what the park was. She was moved and then buried in Oak Hill. That's why I'm going to get to the other one because it explains it a little bit more. If you guys can
Hold
give me a
that
sec.
thought.
I just got excited. I was like, wait a minute, there's only one Battle Creek that I know of.
Yep.
My ears perked.
Tis what you think it is.
Well, I cleaned 3 cemeteries there. I've actually cleaned a couple stones in Oak Hill, so
Mm-hmm.
pretty big cemetery.
The peculiar find of a casket at the Quaker cemetery. A peculiar find was made in the Quaker cemetery this morning, which is unlike any which have heretofore been made in connection with an unearthing of the bodies, perpetually to transforming the city of the dead into a park for the living. H.E. Spaulding and his workmen began operations this morning on a grave located near the center of the cemetery, or perhaps near to Fremont Street, and after digging several feet, their shovels struck an iron cast. It was unearthed, and the oddest casket have ever seen in this cemetery was unearthed. The coffin, in shape to fit the body, with elevations for the head, bosom, and feet, and on the side of the iron box for the arms. On the bosom of the rusty, dirt-covered cast is a silver plate bearing the name Mary A. Mott, age 59. This was examined by a jeweler and found to be of pure silver. It is 7 inches long and about 4 wide. The exterior of the box is fashioned into metallic draperies and folds, and over the face is an iron plate decorated with a floral design. The bed of the casket is screwed into the upper portions, and there are 6 rusty handles to lift it by. The weight is not exactly known, but the coffin is a heavy affair. The identity of the occupant is not known, and the Mott families of this city, who have been consulted claimed no knowledge of any member of their family by this name. Over the grave was a tombstone on which was hewn the words, "Our Mother." The casket is thought to be of foreign make and must have been very expensive. The date of this interment cannot be ascertained, of course, and the general opinion is that the casket was ordered especially for the occupant from such foreign country. The silver plate itself would be very expensive. The coffin shows that it was originally painted white, but that the rust of time and the conditions of the soil have worn off the paint. The strange casket with its unknown inmate will be taken to Oak Hill Cemetery and interred in another grave where it may be claimed by relatives later. The peculiar find became known all over the city, and about 300 people visited the cemetery this afternoon to see the coffin. Not one out of this number, which included many old residents, could remember of ever having seen such a casket or having seen pictures of one.
That is so cool.
What is the date on this?
So when they found her, it was in 1900.
Okay.
And she died in 1854.
Okay.
How many times can they use the word peculiar in one article?
A lot.
I
So
don't.
Go ahead.
I was just like, said that a lot. Go ahead, Al.
My opinion is I don't think that it was made overseas. I think that it was made by a blacksmith locally. Like either a family member was a blacksmith, or an iron worker. But you have to have the body in order to get it to fit perfect.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Unless you're shipping or sending the body on a train.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I think Max said something, but I couldn't hear what he said.
I'm going to go look in the Battle Creek Public Library, see what their local history section has.
If you find anything, can you possibly get me some stuff? I'd really appreciate it.
I found answers to your other questions. So, the tampon was originally used in ancient Egypt, where women used softened papyrus plant fibers as a tampon-like device. But in 1931, Earl Haas, a physician in Colorado, developed a cardboard applicator tampon that was meant to absorb. So that's how we got them today. There you go.
Yeah.
Random Jeopardy facts for the win.
Yep. Just to warn you guys, that's going to pop up on the Grave Geeks Google searches because that's the tab I had open. So.
Bet Max bathroom trivia book didn't have that fact in it.
With us, nothing surprising.
Yeah.
So, Guru's next.
No, that one.
Maybe? You got one, Guru?
I do. Who wants my picture?
You can send it to me.
Okay.
Only if you smile in it, though.
There we go. It's sending. Okay, so mine's kind of a, it's kind of like a sad story. It's not. I'll go ahead, I guess, while she's doing that. So it's about my third great-grandfather. His name is James Campbell McGregor, and he was in the Civil War and was a prisoner of war at Andersonville and, you know, went through all that stuff. And then when he came home, this is about after he came home, he was killed by a tornado after going through all that stuff. Yeah, and surviving. There was only him and another man from his company that survived Andersonville.
I have a
and
grandfather,
he was there for
distant
2
grandfather
years.
that survived Andersonville.
I can't believe he survived it.
When you and I talked that day, Joan, I told that this is him. This is the guy.
Oh, that's him. Oh, okay.
Yep. And I'm just going to read the newspaper article they wrote about his death. So, all right, it says, one of the most terrific cyclones passed through the eastern part of Barton Township about 4 o'clock of the 29th. That was ever, he actually died the 30th, but the tornado was the 29th. That was ever witnessed in our county. It was about 200 yards in width, and it swept everything to destruction in its path. It traveled from the southwest to the northeast with great rapidity. Striking Mr. Tappy's barn, one which was large and well built, it riddled it completely to pieces and carried rafters and other timbers for more than a mile in the air. It broke down and tore up by the roots the largest timber in its course and carried some of the largest oaks as many as 75 yards from where they stood. Large apple trees were uprooted and carried a quarter of a mile and set down. Forest trees were thrown in every direction. I don't know what that says actually. Wheat was thrashed from the head, and great portions of field were made completely bare of wheat. And then this is my grandfather. Mr. James McGregor was the greatest of sufferers. He had just returned from the Oakland City Mill and was in the south shed of his barn when the wind struck his place. Both house and barn were completely demolished. And in some unknown way, Mr. McGregor was so badly bruised in his chest and head as to die in 12 hours. The wife and children at the house were badly injured, and some of them dangerously. The house was a log structure and was blown entirely down. To see the wreck, one cannot conceive how even a cat could be in the house and not be killed, and yet no one was killed at the house. After the storm, Mr. McGregor and his wife went to work and lifted timbers off the children that were under them. Then they proceeded to a brother's house about a quarter-mile distant, carrying some of the children in their arms, and on the way they waded a branch that was waist-deep in water. After crossing and reaching the house, he embraced his wife and said, "Oh, that I might not live and see my children raised." Immediately after, he became unconscious and died. He leaves a wife and 8 little children, fatherless and homeless, and no one of the family is free from injury except the babe. The babe in this newspaper article happens to be the baby she was pregnant with that was born a few months later.
Oh, wow.
Donations are made freely for their relief. Mr. James McGregor was a soldier in the 42nd Indiana Volunteers and was characterized by great bravery. He passed through the battles of Perryville, Stone River, and Chickamauga, I can never say that word, unhurt, belonged to Company F, and at Chickamauga, he with 17 others of his company were taken prisoner and carried to Andersonville. There he spent 18 months, and of the 18 prisoners, he with another were the only survivors. Mr. McGregor was an eminent Christian and had been a member of the United Presbyterian Church for 20 years.
Oh, his final act in life was making sure his family was safe.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I need some dang tissues.
Yeah.
Now, I felt the need to put on Ken Burns' soundtrack to that. That was almost right out of a Ken Burns documentary.
I guess it was more like an obituary than a newspaper.
Yeah, an amazing picture.
Yeah.
What an amazing picture.
What an amazing
fun fact, his mother, my 4th grade grandmother, was the very first stone I ever cleaned. My very first video on my page is her stone.
That's awesome.
Oh, nice.
So there was like 37,000 Union service members in that prison that was built to hold the maximum of 10,000.
Andersonville was a nightmare.
I'm slowly learning about it. It does not sound like a picnic.
It is.
And to survive that and then come home and get killed by nature.
Yeah.
The fact that he survived Andersonville is amazing. I'm going to be honest with you. The fact that he survived that prison camp is amazing. Disease was rampant. They had no clean drinking water. They didn't have shelter. They dug holes to shelter them. It was a travesty.
And it is such a feeling, like, because I went there, and they actually had some information on my 3rd great grandfather, Jasper Killian, And it was like, but like when you walk on the ground, it's like
Ugh.
a feeling like I don't even know how to explain, but
That place is haunted.
oh, I'm
Oh,
sure
I
I could
It
believe
has
feel
to
it.
it.
be.
Like even just walking through the little gate thing they had, I could just imagine him, and I just felt such a connection and like so much loss and oh my gosh, because I went there this summer.
Sadness,
Devastation.
the despair that seeped into the ground.
Hmm.
Yep.
Well, in my third great grandfather's pension record, it actually said he ended up getting sick while he was there and somehow
Oh,
still survived.
that is amazing.
Yeah,
I'd love to go there.
yeah,
I don't know if I could handle it. I'll be honest with you. I feel things very deeply. That I don't know if that would be something I could handle.
mm,
I know way too
I
much
can,
about that place. I couldn't do it. Mm-mm.
yeah, it's something.
yeah,
Going to like Gettysburg and stuff, like that was rough, but I can internalize it, and there was fighting and that, but something like that where they were just held and just
it was so hopeless. Like
yeah.
they just had to be able to
Well,
try
not
to
just.
hold on to hope in those conditions. I
Yep.
mean, like how can you do it?
The fact
Right?
that other
Like,
human beings were doing this to human beings
Yeah,
without empathy, really. They didn't see
People
them
that
as
belong to the
humans.
same country.
Exactly. That
yeah,
is exactly, I think, what makes me kind of sick about it is
It's
how
heartbreaking.
people are capable of such compartmentalization.
hmm,
Um, because to be honest with you, most Southerners didn't own that fought for the Confederacy didn't own slaves. They
yeah,
fought because that's what you did. Protect your land.
yeah,
And a lot of them
Good.
were volunteers too. People don't
Yep.
realize that. Or
yeah.
they were drafted.
Yeah. I mean, the South made every man fight, every able bodied man fight.
Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was, yeah. Yeah. The Civil War is, I don't know, a little bit of an obsession of mine for the sheer fact of we tore ourselves apart.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing the story.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sorry, it was so sad.
No,
Nope.
no,
it's
You're
it's
good.
important.
No,
That was an amazing story.
It's important.
it was
I mean,
Absolutely.
it's amazing because of the strength that he had. You cannot get through that place without the strength.
Yep.
And
Because like
then
I'm reading
was
about
that one
Andersonville
about
right now, and I'm thinking as I'm reading this book, I'm like, would it have been more humane to just for them to have been shot, and feel like
Yep.
that? But
oh,
I don't like thinking like
100%.
that. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. It's like torture. Like, just,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm sure at some point they were like, just get it over with,
yeah, yeah.
I do have a quick question. That little book he was holding, does anyone know? Was that like a prayer book? He was holding like a little book in his hand. No, it's okay. You don't have to put it back up. No, it's fine. It's fine. He was just
Well,
holding
no,
he was just holding a really tiny book in his hand, and I just wondered if
Probably.
anyone knew.
that, or they did have books that they had, like, not rules of engagement, but almost like a soldier, a dummy's guide to what the hell am I supposed to do in the war.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it could have been Bible or that.
Right on.
Or it could have been a personal journal too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been a diary.
Oh, I'd love to get my hands on it.
Right? Tasha.
Okay, so I have a couple of different pictures, but I'll just start out with this one. This is my fifth great grandfather, John Alexander McIntosh. Little bit of a fun fact before I start reading all of this. His son Ephraim is apparently buried in Arsenal Street Cemetery, so I have to get in there. But anyway, so Mr. John Alexander McIntosh. There's a little article about him that I'll read and then I'll show you the sign for his name and everything. But the article says many visitors and residents are surprised to learn that the tart and tasty McIntosh apples were created in Dundalk. After moving to Upper Canada from New York State, John McIntosh, born 1777, died somewhere between 1845 and 46, and Hannah Doran were married in 1801 while farming along the St. Lawrence River. In 1811, the two exchanged land with an in-law for a plot of land in Dundalk. While clearing this overgrown plot, McIntosh discovered some wild apple seedlings that he transplanted next to his house. One seedling in particular grew into a tree which bore a particularly good fruit. Their grandchildren dubbed the fruit Granny's apple. By 1820, seedlings from the tree were being sold, but they did not produce the same quality of fruit. It was McIntosh's son Alan who learned the art of grafting and began cloning the tree with his brother Ephraim, increasing production of the fruit. So Ephraim's my fourth great grandfather. Earliest sales were in 1835, and by 1836 the fruit was named the McIntosh Red. Entering into commercial production in 1870, the apple became popular after 1900. The original tree bore its last fruit in 1908 after being damaged by a house fire. Horticulturists from Upper Canada Village saved cuttings from the last known first-generation McIntosh graft before it died in 2011.
That's so
this
crazy.
is
Cool.
This is just a sketching of him. I have. Let me see.
Don't know if you've seen my comment, but I said I can thank your family for my favorite apple. That's so cool.
Yeah, me too. Well, it's my favorite, and I didn't know that until, I was researching all of this. But that's another picture of him. And then we have. Okay, so this sign is on where his farm was, and it says John McIntosh, 1777 to 1846. McIntosh's parents immigrated from Nervis, Scotland to the Mohawk Valley, New York, and John moved to Upper Canada in 1796. So, another thing to just throw in there, his family was loyalists. So that's why part of why they went from New York to Canada.
Yeah.
But, oh, my computer just went black. 1 second. Okay. In 1811, he acquired a farm near this site, and while clearing the land, so I've already read you that part, I don't need to reread all that, but it was widely acclaimed in Ontario in the northern United States and introduced into British Columbia about 1910. Its popularity in North America and propagation in many lands attest to the innovative and industry of John McIntosh and his descendants.
That's so cool.
So
The Mohawk Valley was almost exclusively for the rebels. Exclusively for the rebels.
Yeah, so living in the Mohawk Valley and being loyalists was not a good time for them. They actually were chased out of there from the stories that I have heard. And his wife, it was almost like a Romeo and Juliet style type thing, like Hatfield McCoy's. His wife, her family was very hardcore patriots. And
they were loyalists.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she left, and they ended up having, I think it was 12 kids. And Hannah, hold on.
I don't think that's her last name.
It's funny. Hannah Doran.
Doesn't sound
she was born in Albany. But where did this next thing go? Yeah, their son Ephraim.
Sorry, startled me.
Oh. their son Ephraim is my fourth great grandfather, and it's funny because they were living in like the Governor area just before they crossed. So they went from Mohawk Valley to Governor, went over to the other side of the St. Lawrence. They didn't go far from the St. Lawrence, but then Ephraim ended up coming back, and he died in Governor, but then for some reason was buried in Arsenal Street Cemetery, like an hour away from Governor, in 1886. So I gotta figure out why. Like, I don't know if that's where his wife was or something. I really have not done a whole lot of research on this side of the family. But this
Maybe
is
that's where
one
one
fun
of the
fact
kids
that,
went.
yeah, it's at least one fun thing that I found on my mom's side. Like, or on the race side, I should say. The Westcotts have lots of fun, but not the race. Except for their connections with Italians, but that's on the other side of the races.
Jolly Green said he was going to send something to the email. I don't know if you want to check. Jolly, did you want to come up?
Yep.
Sorry, I'm eating my dinner.
You're good. So that's really freaking cool. So I actually have a Macintosh tree in my yard. So now every time I see it, I'll just think of your family.
Tasha tree. No, you'll stay down? Okay. But how are you going to tell us?
I don't think he needs to explain it. You'll see. Hold on.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Just let it surprise her.
No. It's going to kind of feel blasphemous.
If Tasha ever gets the photo up.
No kidding.
That's what she said.
Tis what she proclaimed.
Oh, Jesus. The dollar store? Lordy. Not the kind of family story we were talking about.
So where is it that she's getting where'd you find this? Did you find it out in the wild, or was this like a picture that you found somewhere?
We need answers.
Or I think that she's trying to sell it. I don't think that's where she's getting it.
Supposedly she owns it.
Come on, Jolly. We need answers.
Right?
I just want to burn it all.
I've got hamburger in my hair.
He found it in the wild.
Oh no.
Okay, take it away. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Appreciate you. Yeah.
Joan.
Oh, okay.
Ta-da!
I decided to share. This is my grandparents, my maternal grandparents, Ed and Vivian Steinbecker. And so my grandfather, he was my hero, Grandpa Steinbecker. And a unique thing about him that I didn't see a lot of people, he started working in a laundromat at 15. And this was back in 1944. So he started working at 15. And he started in a laundromat in Grand Rapids, Michigan. I think it was like Barley laundromat or something like that. And he would work that career the rest of his life. And he actually was so great at getting out stains on that And but he got married. He got my grandmother pregnant when she was 16. But it's funny though, because he had actually asked my grandmother's sister out first, and she said no, because they both worked at the laundromat with him. And she said no. And my grandmother's like, I'll go out with you. And so they went out. She got pregnant. And she had my mom at 16, and she had 5 kids by the time she was 21. And they lived in a 2-room house that they raised all 5 of their children in. And he would work the laundry, all day. I think sometimes he'd work 10 hours, and just to support the family. And then eventually he was hired on for Amway Hotel, which is a big hotel in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and they hired him, and they would have like presidents stay there and stuff like that. And he hated it because he didn't want to have to shake hands with the president, but because he was head of the laundry, he had to like be in the line. But this man never missed more than 5 days. I'm like, 5 days, his entire career.
Wow.
And he was finally forced into retirement, I think, in 2000. Because they're like, look, guy.
You can barely stand up. You need to retire.
No, I mean, he just kept going. And like, everybody would be like, you need to write a book on how you get out all these stains. Because if there was a stain, my grandfather could get it out. And he refused to. Like, to this day, we're all like, oh, seriously.
Right?
But this man did everything for his family, and he made doing laundry like a career. And I am so proud of him. He passed away in 2011. But I just had to share his story because he always said, oh, I haven't done much, but in the 2-room house, my mom and her 2 sisters all slept in one bed. And then in the other room, they had, the 2 boys. And so the whole time they're raising their kids, they're sleeping on the Davenport, the pull-out sofa in the living rom. Like his entire life. Until the kids started moving out. But
that's impressive considering how many children they had, and they were.
Yeah. Yep.
Not breaking stuff. Good on him.
And all the kids survived to adulthood without him killing them,
Wow. That's awesome. Yay!
That's really, really cool.
Wish he would have told his
Your
stories.
grandpa in you.
Real quick before we move on to the next one, that cleaner that Jolly sent, that's not Clean Girls.
Oh.
It's the pink stuff.
Oh yeah, that's different
stuff. Yeah, you've been able to get that for years at like Walmart and stuff. Because I was looking at the picture again. I'm like, wait, hers is called Clean Girl.
Yeah, she has her own name brand bull crap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, neither way, it was too close to comfort.
Yes. Matt, did you do your homework?
He's sleeping.
Mac.
Macky Mac.
Hey, Ass, did you do your homework? It's okay if you didn't. Obviously.
We'll just twist your arm.
Healthy headstones. I'm assuming you probably didn't, because.
Well, what was the assignment?
Tell us an interesting family story. Could be yours, it could be somebody else's.
Oh my God. I don't think we have enough time in the world.
You've got at least another hour.
Well, I'm just really happy because I got the app back. That's why you guys are seeing.
You didn't have the app for a while?
No, so I was one of those people that deleted the app right when it shut down.
Oh.
And since I'm in Korea, I got I got the Korean version, and all it was like Vietnamese like like commercials. It was really bad. So I saw on Facebook that somebody says, in celebration for the TikTok app coming back to the App Store. I was like, it's like,
you should have messaged me. I sent the workaround because Justin lost his phone in the ice.
Oh,
that's a good place to lose it.
Yeah.
Let me see, an interesting story. Like, I have a lot of the stories that I have are almost like incomplete stories because it's one of those things that, understand how like stories get passed down through generations and like pieces get censored and missed. Oh my gosh. So I have an interesting story of how one of my it's kind of a short story. So my maiden last name is Edwards. And I've traced my last name back to like the 14th century England. And there is 17 generations of William Edwards. So I actually have a William Edwards who he passed away, I think, in like 1946, who was William Edwards the 17th. Yeah.
That is a commitment.
That is a lack of creativity. And in the early, since back, Edwards was actually Welsh. It had that weird thing that they have in their name. It's like the two initials. You guys know what I'm talking about? It's like the Irish thing that they do. They put the two initials in with the name, but it's not actually supposed to be pronounced.
I think I do.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's those. So it kind of got split up. But yeah, like my great grandfather died in 1846 was William Edwards the 17th, and I can only trace it back to like the 3rd. So, but I have a great grandfather who was an aerial acrobat for an aerial acrobat company in Seattle, Washington. And he was the youngest aerial acrobat ever. He was 17 years old when he started. He actually lied about his age. He said he was 21. And he ended up starting the world's largest aerial acrobat team. And they traveled all over America during air shows, carnivals, and stuff like that. And the really sad thing about it is that my grandma, who was married to him, had undiagnosed at the time bipolar disorder. And she would go around and tell people that her husband could fly.
Oh, no.
I mean, and people didn't believe her. And so when she said we go around, so this is initially what got her institutionalized and also postpartum depression along with the bipolar disorder. She ended up passing away in Western State, which is in Tacoma, Washington. She ended up passing away from pneumonia. And I have no trace of where she's buried. It says she's buried there in the Sanctatorium Cemetery on the grounds, but I called them. They said they have no records. But
of course
my great-grandpa, yeah, of course not. But my great-grandpa did this up until like his 50s, like standing on top of biplane airplanes, doing the flips and all this other stuff. So yeah, I have some crazy people in my family, especially on my dad's side. My mom's side, the craziest person on my mom's side was Captain Christopher Jones, who was the captain of the Mayflower. And then I'm related to like 6 people on the Mayflower. But other than that, like, I love the story of my great-great-grandfather, who was the aerial acrobat. I have newspaper clippings of his stuff. They called him like the flying boy or something like that. So it was pretty cool. He got to be there for the opening of the Space Needle. He did a little thing around the Space Needle. There's a YouTube video of it somewhere. I can't remember where it's at, but the Seattle Times did an interview with him, which was pretty cool.
All you guys with your like the claim to fame on my dad's side.
Hold on. I'm sorry. It wasn't the Space Needle because he was dead by then. It was the It was some other, I'm sorry, it wasn't the Space Needle. I'm like, why did I say the Space Needle? It was the tallest building in Seattle at the time, which was, I think, the hospital at the time. So,
Still, and your
Yeah.
50s doing it. No, thank you.
yeah.
Like, my third cousin twice removed invented the rumble strips for the roads.
Okay.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
know,
those do save lives.
What, Mac? Now that you've joined us again, mister.
Oh, hi. Welcome back to
Good
the
morning, sunshine.
Nice nap.
I'm the one with narcolepsy here.
rough day.
I'm trying to look on my tree because I have Edwards in mine, so I'm like, are we related?
So the Edwards that from my family, when they came here, they went to, they went to Greenup, Kentucky, at Greenup County, and they were there for a while, and then they went to Dillon, Montana. So they went up north, and they were in Dillon, Montana for quite a while. And
Ooh, Montana?
yeah,
I'm
so
in Montana.
you are.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so that the Edwards and the Sassmans went to Dillon, Montana, and the Sassmans pretty much ran that town. And then all the Edwards end up somehow, like every single one of them, they all followed each other into Washington State. So
Did you say it was William Edwards that was used over and over again?
17 times.
17 times apparently.
All right, I'm just. Yeah, there are a lot of William Edwards. Okay, yeah, I'm not going to be able to figure this out right now, but.
It's a wormhole. It took me, well, I hit so many brick walls, and then I worked on that for 3 years. And then finally something opened up, and it was a floodgate.
When you find that one connecting document that gives everybody, you're like, oh, here it is. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, and I actually had on Ancestry, you know how you can pick, you know, whatever their category is. I actually put brick wall.
Yeah.
They have an option for that. In fact, since I've been here, my Ancestry has expired. I haven't paid for it because I'm not working yet. Still. But yeah, I've got a lot of interesting folks in my family. I have and I think it started with, so Thomas Jefferson
You just muted yourself. You muted yourself.
Sorry, my husband was calling. You know. So anyways, Thomas Jefferson apparently had an illegitimate sister named Jemima, whatever. And then she had a couple of kids, and then like 3 sections down in the family tree, like those.
It's important.
She's like, all right, I guess I better take it.
Poor guy.
Anyways, so ended up like 3 generations later, like 2 of her kids' descendants ended up marrying each other. Oh my God, whose kitty is that?
Montana.
That's mine.
Oh. And so
my
there's
ancient
like,
cat.
I'm not going to say a little bit of inbreeding, but there's like a little bit of inbreeding. And then after the Civil War, like my family just went like downhill. Like just in trouble with the law, you know, having children at like 13, living in the Appalachians, stealing cars, holding up hotels at gunpoint. Like it just.
So they had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did. Oh, speaking of,
Oh, it just dawned
you
on
guys
me.
haven't
Look at-
seen my.
Hold on. There.
Mine's at work.
Look at what
I
I'm
use it every
using.
day.
I
Ow.
use it all the time. Thank you.
You're welcome. You guys haven't seen
The puppers. I did.
He's all big
just because I
now.
stalk your regular Facebook. So.
Aw.
puppy.
Hi,
He's
Tammy.
18 pounds now.
Oh my
Really
god.
cute. And he's huge.
On behalf of Ashley, can I pet that dog?
Can I pet that
Little
dog?
floof.
Oh, he loves it. He's
He's
tired.
so fluffy.
He needs to be groomed so
Oh,
bad, but I'm
so
so scared to take him to
fluffy.
Fly me over to Korea.
I am in love.
Tasha's
What is that
awake.
puppy's name?
His name is Leonardo Falcor.
Oh, that's a good name.
Yeah.
I actually almost named my cat Falcor.
Yeah.
I mean, he's big, fluffy, and white.
Well, we named him Falcor because even when he was a puppy, he had like the little beard thing going on. And now it's even bigger, so I have to cut it because he gets food stuck to it.
Oh no.
How much longer you
my
got
God.
till you guys are back?
August 26th. So we go back next year, but we're probably going to go to Germany next. And I have friends in Germany, and I have a couple of taphophile friends, and they said there are cemeteries in Germany that you are allowed to clean at.
Okay.
And luckily in Germany, Akimi is the brand that comes straight from Germany, so I will be able to have access to Headstone Cleaner in Germany.
Hey, you can send the historic line monument stuff back.
I probably could. That's not official. Like, we're trying to get to Germany, but it's, it just depends because my husband will make E8 when he's here. So he's made the list, and nobody ever really makes it the first time they make the list.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to make it next year. So.
Well, you can always come visit me. Yeah.
Of course. Well, even though you'd be the closest one, but his family lives just south of you there in Baltimore. So not too. Well, I mean, it's a few hours.
Yeah, we'll call it a few.
I was going to say probably what, 5, 6?
About 6 hours. Yeah.
You made that drive.
7 hours.
I did?
Yeah.
When you went down to Williamsburg, did you not go roundabouts in that general direction?
Probably. I don't know.
Yeah,
It was
that's another
9 hours.
conversation.
You know how many times I slept in there?
Probably the whole time.
Yeah, a lot of it.
That's another conversation, Ellie, you and I need to have, is how your time was in Williamsburg.
It was good. Williamsburg was okay. I wasn't as impressed with that as I was Jamestown and Yorktown. And
yeah, Yorktown is amazing.
I went live when we were at Jamestown in the church. Something you don't know because it's not been published. The old tombstone, the oldest one, the blue one, they finally figured out came from Belgium, and they thought it was that knight guy. It's not. They did DNA, and they found his descendants. And about a month before we were there, because the archaeologist was there telling us all about it.
Oh, wow.
And
they don't do that very often.
Yeah, and he's just like, oh, yeah, well, a month ago we found out, we got the DNA results, and it's not him. Just so casually.
You should make a video about it soon.
I know.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And a blog post.
I was in Williamsburg when they were reconstructing one of those cobblestone bridges. They found like clay pots full of nails, and like posted on each one. So there's a bridge in Williamsburg that, like, if you don't say a certain thing and you go under it, you'll die or something like that. But they found these weird. There's a lot of weird witchcraft stuff that's up there too. But yeah, they found these like clay pots full of like nails from like the 1700s under each side of the bridge when they were reconstructing it. There's a big story about it in the newspaper. But yeah, the people that found those, We're all like thinking, you know, a million things going on, and so I don't know what they really concluded them to be, but yeah, like archaeologists are like, yeah, you know, we found this old church at the basement of this, you know, building that we dug up, you know, and like they're just so willy-nilly about the information.
Also, don't let me forget, we have to have a conversation about things that went on last week, so that you're aware.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it can't be on here.
I'll if you're gonna be around right after Grave Geeks, go on to Discord. I'll hop on there and I'll explain.
Okay. Well, I have to hop off here because my husband's in North Carolina right now. So
I'm in North Carolina.
Yeah, he's in Raleigh right now.
So I'll
visiting
hop
his
over
kids.
there in about 40 minutes when this is done, and I'll explain what happened.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not good. Well,
oh.
I don't care anymore. I cared to begin with, but I don't anymore. But yeah.
I've missed out on so much.
Be lucky.
Okay.
What did I miss last week?
A
Am
lot.
I in trouble? So. All right, you guys.
Yeah,
It was
you're in
good seeing
big trouble.
everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
Weston, did you want to come up and tell a story?
I can hop down.
I think she's going to go anyway, so.
All right.
Maybe.
Mac, you were sleeping when we were calling your name. Do you have anything to share with the class?
No, I didn't do the homework because I forgot about it. And then today when I remembered, I found some facts on somebody and I tried to work on that instead. But
where's the ruler? I'm
I
gonna go get one of those Westcott rulers and beat you.
I wasn't sleeping.
Okay, fine. You don't have to come up, Justin. Just invite
Party
him.
pooper. Party pooper.
So, cool. So what do we want next week to be?
Do not know.
Put everybody else on the spot so that I don't always have to come up with it.
Well, since it's Black History Month, why don't we share something?
Oh.
Like, it doesn't have to be your family member, because not all of us have it. I don't know. It's an idea.
That's a good idea.
I could find something. It won't be of my family, not because
it won't be of my family either. So, but I just thought since.
Yeah, we can find something.
Yeah.
I think I already have something. I could do that.
Is there any? I'm just trying to think. A couple alternate. That like historic sites. So if people want to do historic sites and or like Black History Month, and you can do a combination.
I like historic sites too. Our bucket list site.
I was trying to connect those.
That's a good one. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not that I don't like it. Just I don't. With everything that's going on, I don't want somebody to say like people are trying to appropriate.
Yeah.
You know.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
bucket list sites we want to
interesting
visit.
historic site.
Yep.
Or bucket
What is
list.
it?
Bucket list.
Bucket list historical sites we want to go to.
Bucket list historical sites, huh?
Yeah.
That ought to be a big list.
Okay, no more
It
than
is a
like
big
one or
list.
two.
Yeah. Well,
No
yeah.
more
U.S. or worldwide?
No
Anywhere.
more than what?
One or two.
Up to two.
Up to two.
Up to two.
So you mean
I
I
mean-
have to choose?
Come on, Brian.
Can I just
Otherwise, we
write a
need to take,
list?
like an hour or two.
You can write a list, but just
And
tell
then
us
just
about
stick
it
it there.
too. Like, find pictures, find information and why it's historical. Tell the story behind it.
Why do you want to go visit that site?
Yeah. What does it mean to you? Why is it important?
Okay. Already got one.
I'll choose one that's worldwide and one that's in America. There we go.
There we go.
It's probably the only way I'm ever
Oh, that's
getting
a
on a
good
plane
idea.
is to go to one place.
Unless you're stowaway in my carry-on.
Yeah, well then I won't know. Just act like you're kidnapping me and drug me up and throw away the key to the carry-on. Sorry, I forgot that word's bad.
No, I was just telling you to You'll be all right.
Yeah.
Tasha, you and I will have to fight unless we
Hey,
can
Megan,
get Crazy
check
Husband
that
to
site.
get one.
Yeah. What?
I was just telling Megan to check some numbers.
Down, down, down. I can't wait. Give me one moment.
She's doing one of these.
Oh man.
Vegas facial expressions are so loud that I can picture the look on her face right now.
You don't even need her camera on. You
Yeah,
can
she don't.
see it through the phone, through
The little
the black.
Cheshire grin she gets going.
Yeah, that one.
That one.
I like what I'm seeing. I like what I'm seeing. And yes, I have been told that my face speaks volumes. But I can't be penalized for my facial expressions if I keep my mouth shut.
Well,
It's not my fault.
you can't be held accountable.
Yep. If you ever see me like this, I'm trying with everything in my might.
I worked as a
Ellie
waitress
says that
and a hostess
she-
for so long that and then as a nurse, you learn. I mean, imagine some of the things that I've seen, and you got to just be like, oh, okay.
Serving tables actually taught me how to smile through almost everything. That 7 years in the kitchen really
You slipped and fell
took
on
that out of
what?
me.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. We'd love nothing
So what?
more.
I can
So
hear
what are
it
the
in
numbers?
kitchen.
Dropping like a rock in a bucket.
Allie says that she can't trust me to keep my mouth shut because my face will tell it anyway.
The thing is
This is the cross I bear.
I mean, she gives away that there's stuff going on. You give away the whole sentence right across your face.
At least I'm keeping my mouth shut.
Kinda.
As she says something.
She's keeping her mouth shut.
Oh, the
Wait a minute.
screenshot needs to come out of it. Oh, jeez. Jasper just came out here, so I was flipping you guys up. His head's floating.
It's all like.
I got one more.
He just flipped y'all off in Chinese, just so you know.
Yeah, I just saw that, mister.
He's in trouble.
I believe Jasper Ray is his name.
Yes, it is. Yep.
Jasper Ray.
Ray.
What are you doing?
Auntie Allie's gonna beat you.
He's such a handsome lad, though.
I found grid paper.
Oh, there you go.
I could do this for hours.
So we did talk about, I don't know if I brought it up, and I gotta find the calendar. So I put in my leave slip for July. Hold, please. For July
18th,
19th, 20th, and 21st. So it's a long weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. in West Virginia.
Y'all have fun.
And we'll pick up people along the way, and we can try and see if we can, ride share, carpool. Megan's like, I'll pick up V.
Oh, me and B are totally carpooling.
There you go.
I don't know who's
Yep.
near me to carpool with, but anyone's welcome to ride with me.
Heck,
Which is
we
probably
can
good.
swing down through Indiana, pick you up on the way through.
Yeah,
Cheryl's in Ohio, so
yeah, come through, girl.
Damn, and I do have to go through Ohio. There's no choice.
I saw.
Wait a minute.
However, West Virginia is really not that far.
Oh, that was good. Who do I see?
There she is.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
you
there
be.
she is. She was saying.
I'm willing to join in on this clap parade.
That's my girl. Thank you. Thank you. WB, I love you. Thank you.
She heard West Virginia.
I don't know what I
She's
did,
like,
but I
"Who,
love
me?"
you too.
I only invited you like twice, but
I've been doing
glad you're
laundry.
My
I did
leave
laundry,
slip
I'm
was
sorry.
approved.
Huh?
You what?
I put in my leave slip, which that's what you got to do to get your time off in July.
Perfecto.
Lovely.
Oh,
I just got to
Yeah.
tell them I'm not going to be here this day through this day, and they'll go, okay.
So, does Ashley have
Sorry.
homework?
Do I have what?
Homework? Did you do homework?
What the hell was the
Do you
homework?
do you have an awesome family story that you would like to share?
She's
No.
from
Coming from
West
the person that
Virginia.
did not
Yes,
do
she
that
has an awesome family story to share.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something totally inappropriate, but I won't.
I love you, Ashley,
That's
and I say
shocking.
that with as much respect as I can. But I
So-
can only imagine.
Do you have one, Ash?
Tell them
I
who you
mean-
met, Ash. Your claim to
What?
fame. Who did I get real excited about the other night? And you got to meet him. Just go away.
Ooh, who'd you
Oh, okay.
Just
Yeah.
go away.
Well, I met, so in West Virginia, there's a group of family called the Whites of West Virginia. There was like a TV show made about it and everything. And years ago, when I was playing a tournament in Boone County, I met Jessica White. If anybody knows who that
Watch
is.
the documentary.
Yeah. If anybody knows who that is, you need to go look them up.
Is that the same group of people that Bobby Sue woman?
Yes.
Is that the same group of people?
Yes.
Shut up.
Yes.
Where they have like
They live like 15 minutes away where I was playing my tournament at. So, and he just
Oh,
walked. He was
no.
walking down the street and turned in. And he said, "Oh, look, it's a softball tournament." And he just started talking to everybody. And yeah,
I got a little
Right.
excited the other night when she told us that. So
that was a fun time.
I love the wonderful whites of West Virginia.
There's something.
The guilty pleasure. Leave me
Hey,
alone.
Parker. It's a
something
bucket
I'll tell
list historical site you want to go to. You can have up to 2 items.
Historical site.
yeah, like
For
where
next
you
week, yeah.
if you could go anywhere in the world to any historical site, where would you want to go and why?
The pyramids of Giza. Definitely.
Not now.
Not now, next week.
Next week.
Oh, next week. Oh shit! Sorry.
She's already to jump the gun.
She was ready. She's like, boom.
Oh,
I'm
no,
sorry.
we're not doing
I
the
thought
bucket
you were
list.
doing it now. My bad.
If
doing
you
bucket
want to
list.
give a background about, a lot of time, like that's a pretty fairly well known. You wouldn't have to give too much of a background, but
Let's see. I already have my 2. I know where I want to go.
and then the why. Why is it important that you go and you want to go?
I already got them 2. I'm good. I'm ready.
See,
She was born for this homework assignment.
Mhm.
right?
I was ready.
More for my stupid cough, though. Sound like I was chain smoker for 20 years.
You gotta do the trick that I told Krista to do. You go.
Which is what? I can't remember.
You go in the you have a smaller bathroom.
Shower. Yeah.
You don't have to get in the shower. You turn the shower on all hot. You take a plastic plate or whatever, and you get the dollar store Vicks. You put it on the plate. You put the plate in the shower. 20 minutes, no fans or anything. Door closed. You're sitting there, and you have like you're in a steam bath, and you're gonna cough more. So don't do it right before bed.
Okay.
It's gonna be hot, so be conscious of what you're wearing. No, I'm just saying because you'll overheat. It'll get hot, and when you get out of there, like you will feel better. You're gonna cough your full head off, but it'll help.
I've been doing that for the past 3 days.
Yeah.
Great.
And like I always warn parents, if it's the kids, be prepared that the kid's gonna cough till they puke.
Ugh.
Right. Yeah.
And that's why I've been wearing a mask all day, every day to work.
I don't blame you.
Everybody looks at me, they're like, why are you wearing a mask? I'm like, because I don't want to catch all this garbage.
Because I'm minding my own business. I suggest you do the same.
I have to be nice at work. Can you tell me?
I feel like that's kind. I'm minding my own business. I suggest you do the same. It's just a suggestion. You're not making them do anything.
Yeah, true. Anything else exciting, new and revolting?
I got a new book.
Ooh, I like books.
Is it a dirty book?
Yeah, kinda. No.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I can recommend a few.
So it's Where Are They Buried and How Did They Die? Fitting ends and final resting places of the famous, infamous, and noteworthy.
Oh, there you go.
And it has almost 400 people buried in with their stuff on here.
400? So like 400 famous.
Famous, infamous, and noteworthy.
Infamous.
Infinite. You know what? You just leave me alone.
Infamous.
Infamous. I'll show you.
There you go. Max giving you a thumbs up.
Infamous. See, I said it right for once.
It will be here tomorrow, Amanda. Don't worry.
But yeah, I've had the Becoming German book for quite a while, but it's really interesting to read. What about WV?
I don't want to cough in everybody's ear.
Just trying not to cry on camera.
It's so awful.
I'm
not for a second.
eardrums.
For a second there, I felt like I was going to throw up, so it's a good thing I didn't do that, or we'd have Allie doing it too.
Oh, I'm a sympathetic puker. I hear her see puking, and I'm done.
Nope. I'm over it. No.
Same.
Tasha, whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it. Keep swinging back and forth. Those guys, does it look like her head has moved and it's about to fly away? Don't move! Come on, do it again!
He's got a floating head.
There.
Ow! My toe just shut in the drawer to my desk.
Ouch.
I was using it as a footstool.
Well, that'll stop your stomach.
Yeah. I wonder if that's what's making my stomach upset. All the coffee and just going like this for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Probably.
It could. 50.
He's flashing money in our faces.
Money, please.
Money, please.
That's what I do to him all the time. Money, please. Anything else exciting going on?
Now that I can say I'm live.
That's the kind of stuff I want to hear. Come on.
What you
That's
doing, you
after
hussy?
Grave Geeks. That's Grave Geeks.
Yes, after
that.
hours.
Only Grave Geeks.
Yeah.
Feet kicks, right? Yeah.
Huh? Listen, I'm sorry.
I'm messing.
I slowed down for like a second. I'm sorry.
I said OnlyFans Grave Geeks, and then I said feet pics, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Although
everybody's pretty toes.
Jeez.
And it's got to include a headstone in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Toes and stones.
Put the brush between your toes and use your toes.
And just start wiggling it back and forth.
Throw some chopsticks in there and clean the letters out with your toes.
I mean, can't be any worse than Amanda like going head first into the cemetery.
She's just so excited.
Well, did you see? So most of you have seen my new video that I posted on the group chat. Like that. That's how I feel.
Oh yeah. I was like,
yeah, we all just want to get out there.
Yeah, as at least Tasha and I get like another foot or two of snow.
Actually, I'm curious to see what it's doing out there right now. Hold, I shall be right back.
Okay.
I've had the freaking rain for the whole week, and we're supposed to have flooding this weekend.
Take the snow. I'll take the rain.
I would love to have the snow, but then we're supposed to have snow next week.
Yeah, we're supposed to have snow again next week too. And this weekend.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah.
I'm
It
ready.
has been like
Yeah, school, I don't care.
-15 out.
What, Tosh?
It's raining.
How could it be raining? It was 17 degrees earlier.
I don't know. It might be ice rain for all I know. I know that it wasn't snow.
Hang on.
Uh-oh. I must investigate.
Well, so it ice
23
rained
degrees.
last night. I don't know.
Just don't bring your phone, Justin.
No. That or put it on a lanyard around your neck.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Gone Graving, did you?
Sorry.
Did you do your homework? Thought I'd give him a chance. You failed your homework. Math, right? I still need to find Minion a tutor.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't help with that one. Geometry's not... That's not my strong suit.
That's not my strong suit either.
Well, she's got a 50 right now.
Ooh.
I can't help her. I don't. So. I don't know. Well, you're doing better than she is. You're really good at geometry, and you're also really busy, sir. Would you like to help tutor and explain that to the 15-year-old minion? So she doesn't have to go to summer school? You need to help at the cemetery this summer when she's not at camp. Great. Let me know when you're free. Walk right into that one.
You just got voluntold.
Did Mac just bring his story up? Oh, you posted the picture of Elmer's sign, so I was just wondering. Oh, so we're matching. Twinning, except mine's the Canadian version. But I mean, you slept through my story, so I see how it is.
I heard every word. Hi, Em.
Hi, I did get the form that you filled out. I I will get it added to the website.
Yay!
So she filled out the form to go on there as well. I haven't sent any emails since that one, so she didn't receive the email with the form in it. I had to send her the link like through TikTok because the email didn't go through.
I'm thinking that they think that it's spam.
Yeah.
Check if you do get an email from them, check your important file, your spam file, or there's another one that it like to show up. So it could be there. It's just not where you think it is.
It's been going everywhere. Well, the night that I tried sending it to her, it was being kind of wonky.
Wow.
It's a newer email address, and we had a lot of interest in the page, and then we sent out newsletters, so I think that it might have gotten tagged a little bit for spammy-ish.
Yeah. Oh, Emma's in Michigan as well.
Another
is she?
Michiganian?
Oh,
Where at? Where at?
Not another one.
How many people do we have signed up for newsletters?
Like, oh geez, hold on. Quite a few. I think it was like 60 something.
That's awesome.
You can just say the county too, Em, if you just want to feel comfortable with that.
Yeah, we're not like, we need to know your address and your social and your mother's maiden name.
We just need to know the name of your first pet, your dad's favorite car.
Not like that one.
So
lady
it's actually,
lied.
it's
Who
77.
your third grade best friend was.
77?
Yep.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, we keep growing. I'm gonna have to up the.
Night, Tammy.
Good night, Tammy. We keep going. I'm gonna have to upgrade the marketing, like the email marketing thing, because you get like 200 a month, and even if I'm only doing the newsletter from that, if we get up to 200, then I'll have to up it. But that's not a bad thing, though.
No. Is there a large cost to up that?
Oh, look.
I'm hungry.
I did see, so they have LegalZoom on there too, and they have like one thing that's for free, but it's like the bare minimum to become an LLC. The other one, it's like 200 and something.
We just got to get the 501 whatever C thing going.
3C.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Well, so I think we have to actually, from what I was reading, we have to get the LLC stuff set up first.
Oh, okay.
And then once we get that set up, that's when you can apply to be the nonprofit. Because you have to go through make it a business before you can make it nonprofit. That's what I've read anyway. But with the email marketing, it's $10 a month for 500.
Oh, that's not bad.
So it's not bad. I think. So even if we were to say do it for 2 years, put it on there, that they give you a discount on it, and it would be $233 for 2 years.
Well, we probably do for a year at a time.
Yeah. For 1 year, they have it at the 120, I think it was.
Because then we've got, because we just had quite a donation.
Yeah.
Woo!
That'll cover that if we have to upgrade it for a year. I don't know
if we had
it to be anonymous or not.
Yeah. If we don't have to be anonymous, person tell us. But we had quite the hefty donation put on there, and then we also had another $20 donation from somebody that just signed up for the yeah. So the anonymous donor is Mr. Justin.
Yep.
But
Justin!
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you.
so any of the donations that get sent on there, they'll go to the costs of upkeep with the website. It'll go to like this summer when people are doing workshops. We'll put some of it towards workshops and things like that. Or if somebody's struggling and they want to get out to the cemetery, but they don't have the money to be able to do so, like we can send them a bottle of D2 or something. And
Yep. Justin, have you heard from the Headstone company? Because I have got nothing back.
Same.
I sent them the one email and they haven't said anything to me either.
I just wasn't sure if you heard from him, like all of a sudden, hey, I'm getting all these people.
Who the hell are they?
What did you do?
Yeah, the email that I sent wasn't like for me, myself. It was for Grave Geeks as a whole to see if like we could kind of collaborate with information sharing and things like that.
And I said to Tasha, so I mean, I know that I used to have my own code and stuff, but for me, I would rather do like, and this is up to everybody else. So I mean, like if you want your own code, if and collaborate or whatever, I would rather have for myself a code, Grave Geeks or whatever, and then have whatever, promote that code to use, and whatever is made off of that, it goes into the Grave Geeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like
I
that.
think that's a good idea.
I mean, again, I'm not pressuring anybody to do whatever's best for you, but I mean, to me, I'm already paying for most of my stuff. I really didn't. I mean, I got a decent amount, but it wasn't. I could get a few bottles of D2, and
But I thought you made a living off of it.
No.
No.
Sorry, I had to. I'm sorry.
If I count what I made off of videos and gifts and subscriptions and affiliates and everything else, I couldn't even buy a 55-gallon drum of D2. So, like, I could get, if I paid for it all, I could probably get maybe 4 of the 5 gallons. So, I mean, it's some. Don't get me. It's helpful. It's super helpful, but
it's not like you're getting rich off it.
Right, I'm not, and that's fine. I would rather the code be used for nobody. I spend way too much money.
And if you're in it to get rich, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
I will. Nope.
Nope. That's okay. Another one.
Hi, Carrie.
I'm good with just doing like a Grave Geeks code, and I'll promote the Grave Geeks code, and then this way,
I'll promote it.
Well,
in all of the videos that I post.
all 5. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I've been working on the same one for the last 2 weeks. It's
labor intensive. It is.
Yeah, and I haven't had the mind capability for it.
Yeah.
I've looked
got
at the same
probably
5 facts.
Right,
10
Justin?
times.
I agree, but that's probably not going to happen. But I mean, in all honesty, normally between not even counting the time it takes to clean it, so just doing the research. So I usually spend an hour or less, and then it takes a good hour at least to edit the video. And then if I'm posting it on all the sites, now I'm taking almost another hour because because I'm an idiot and I still haven't downloaded whatever Joan has to upload to all the sites. So each individual one, you have to wait until it's uploaded before you go on to the next one. So most of the time, those videos take me about 3 hours in total to get completed, edited, voiceover, and uploaded.
Yeah.
They are good videos, though.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely.
You're really good.
I try. Although lately I haven't been cutting anything out. I've been making sure that I'm not cutting anything out.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've noticed the effort.
It's annoying.
If I didn't cut out all the dead space, we would be. I'm there for 25 minutes because you've seen me. I walk to and from my car 6 different times.
Yeah.
I sit and I have a snack. Yeah, so I have to cut dead space out, or you guys would be bored out of your gourds pretty darn quick.
What? How dare you? Oh, I expect a full 24-hour video.
Back.
Well,
I was like, you
I'm
can't
Is
hear me.
my microphone on?
Now it is.
I'm just messing with you, Matt. Megan.
I'm gonna cry
That
myself
video
to
you
sleep tonight, B.
Sorry.
the video you just posted told you to do what you want, how you want it. That fucking my game. You make me laugh, girl.
I know.
Just do it the way you want to do it. Piss on your detractors. Forget them. Just do it the way you want to do it, and don't make it more labor intensive for yourself. Don't make it harder for yourself. Don't make it more annoying for the people watching. Just do it the way you want to do it. And
I know.
hell, bad press is good press, right? Even
According
with the
to
people
numbers,
coming
it
in.
is.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, what he said.
Huzzah!
All of that. Listen to that.
Oh, look at that puppy.
Can I find that?
Like
Exactly.
Gas Preservation said.
Exactly what he said, and I would not be afraid to tell them right on my videos to literally kiss my ass. I'll bend over. That'll be my next video. Will be my pressed ham right up against the freaking camera, and I'll tag them in it. I don't care.
Oh my goodness.
No, I did my couple where I showed the whole process, so now I'm gonna go back to cutting it the way I always cut it.
It sounds like you're talking about
Good.
something else.
Oh,
both y'all are talking about crack right now. Mac's talking about putting crack on there. You're talking about it. I'm joking.
Cut. Not crack.
Yeah, you cut it.
Take crack.
How do you know, Todd?
I've been told.
9:58. We almost made it to 10, guys. Almost made it to 10.
So close, Tasha. Good job.
It's my goal to not make it to 10.
Bravo.
I tried.
So next week,
I'm so proud of you.
Bucket list historic sites. Maximum of 2. Tell us why you want to go, what's important there. Tell us about the historic site. And you can roll your eyes if you want to.
Who? Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't rolling my eyes at you. My arm is falling asleep.
Okay. Isn't that a good thing?
I'll let you know.
Oh my god.
That was shocking. Wow.
That was Allie, right? That was Allie. Yes! She beat the 10 o'clock buzzer.
That was hilarious.
I'll let you
And
know.
Allie closes it out.
Hey, you gotta go out with a bang, right?
That's what I'm
That's what
hoping.
she said.
Out with a bang. Bang, bang,
Here's
bang.
what she proclaimed.
WB with her eyebrows.
Hey, Alice, were you just singing AJR?
Yes.
That is Jasper's absolute favorite band. I just had to say that.
They're a pretty cool band.
They're fun.
Just saying, he's got good taste.
Anything else before we close?
I cannot believe you said that.
Allie, that's where you sing your welcome song.
What can I say except welcome?
Oh God.
No, it's your.
God, the grass, the ground. Now we're just messing around.
I'm more of a
You guys,
Damn it.
girl.
We're even corrupting
stuck in my head all
Amanda
night.
at this point. Look at her down in the comments.
Oh,
Amanda.
Oh yeah.
Amanda. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, welcome,
I got
Amanda.
you. All right, so we'll end it for this Thursday, and we will see you again next Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Grave Geeks. Woo!
Good night, you
Have a
all.
great evening.
Night,
Have a
Night.
great week.
Good night.
Night.
Night, chat.